When this fucking beat drop, you already know what fucking time it is.
Daily Dose is on now.
Check it out, y'all.
Let's start with talking about YG, who has shared his cover art for his upcoming album, My Life 400. Now, this album is set to drop October 2nd. You can see him with his red shirt, and it says My Life 400. I like it. I like it a lot. And I actually like this name more than Laugh Now, Cry Later.
Really?
I wonder if it would have been the same cover art, like with My Life 400, if the title was different.
I mean,
it definitely would have been different cover. YG is very particular and he's very into his market, so it totally would have been a different cover.
I love the title. I love the title right now. It's dope.
It's
but
cool.
Laugh Not Cry Later, I just felt like that would have fit
Damn,
the other
Drake.
albums. Oh, damn. Damn charisma.
So that
You
means,
messed it up.
That means he had to do a whole different photo shoot, maybe a whole like all the
plan.
yes. Please, let's send the invoice to Drake. Okay, he likes to send invoice, so let's send Drake the invoice.
Drizzy can afford it. That man is rich.
A lot of celebs like Jamie Foxx, Michael B. Jordan, and many more are getting together and want to freeze Instagram and Facebook for the day. Kim Kardashian actually posted, "I love that I can connect directly with you through Instagram and Facebook, but I can't sit by and stay silent while these platforms continue to allow the spreading of hate, propaganda, and misinformation." Now, she went on her Instagram, and if you're probably sitting there like, what is she talking about? There is this documentary on Netflix that I feel did a really good job at explaining it. It's called Social Dilemma. And basically it breaks down how we're the product in social media and how they're selling us and telling us what to think, how to vote,
Everything.
how to get along with other people with the opposing view. And so I actually think that you guys should watch it. And
Definitely.
I'm totally on board for freezing social media accounts.
Now, of course, listen, whoever they is, government, whoever's in control, they definitely form what you take in. So that way they manipulate it, right? We all being manipulated how to feel and who to think is the opposition. So big ups to the celebrities, kind of taking everything into their own hands and saying, look, we're not going to contribute to this, even though sometimes they kind of do, all right? But they're not going to contribute to this. Let's all band together and let's start dictating what we receive, what we see.
Let's talk about Andre 3000, who has already picked out the last song he will hear before he dies. Okay, the Outkast legend was featured in journalist Mike Ayer's new book called One Last Song, in which he interviews famous musicians about the last song they'd want to hear before they die. And this is what he said. "Sometimes It Snows in April" by Prince. He says he's a pessimist and that when he was younger, he heard "Sometimes It Snows in April" and that always was a song that summed up what life is. And that was a song that summed up what life usually is like. Sometimes you get good things, sometimes things are unexpected. And I kind of agree with him. Most songs, like if I was to listen to a song right before I die, it'd be a sad song. Like, I'm gone. Goodbye, world.
Can't do
Goodbye.
that.
So what song is that for you?
I don't even know the name of the song, but there's this one specific song that really puts me in my feelings. And it's like, "One time was 7 years old."
Connor Maynard?
Yeah, I know it's weird, but that song gets me in my feelings.
Yeah.
Everything else I listen to is like, or some like dope rap
Party
song.
rock.
Yeah.
What about you? Last song you can listen to?
Last song I would listen to before I check out, Tupac. Yeah, let's do some Tupac.
I feel like Tupac.
Check out time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say hit him up.
Check out time.
That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat mother. Hey, now this is tough, man. When it comes to the last song you want to hear, I think I'm going to be sad from when I leave, right? So I need something to look forward to. So I think I got to go with Atmosphere. Yesterday.
When he's talking about,
when he's talking about his pops, man, I think because I don't have my father, and I think that would be the only thing keeping me up. Like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go see Pops right now. I can go in peace.
And listen, it's a no judgment zone. Like, you can listen, like, you're about to die. You can listen to whatever you want.
It could be Cardi B WAP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be City Girls. It could be whatever, man.
Anything.
But if you could listen to any song right before you pass, before you move on.
Goodbye, world. Goodbye.
What song would it be? Comment down below. There's a bunch of Nipsey Hussle songs you can pick, a bunch of Tupac songs. Comment down below. What song is it? What song you listening to right before you go? It's Power 106. It's the Daily Dose, y'all. This is a very deep question. If you could listen to one song for the last time before you go, I think we should bring in an expert, a doctor.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's bring in our family member, Dr. Oz. Good morning, Dr. Oz.
Hey.
Good morning, my friends. How are you?
We're doing great, Doctor. If you could listen to one last song before you go, What song is that, Doctor?
There's no question for me. Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run.
Hey, you know what?
ready.
I bet money that you were gonna say Cardi B WAP. I guess I was wrong.
You lost.
Cardi B was born in my hospital. I have met the woman. I adore her. I could absolutely pick her.
Did
In
you
fact,
you didn't deliver her, right?
I didn't deliver her, but
Okay.
interesting. The shop owner who sort of got her going in the direction she is going now is
Right.
Turkish. So
Oh.
she was telling me the whole story. But the most important thing she said was her mom kept reminding her that she owed New York Presbyterian a little tea because she was born at my facility.
Hey.
Honestly,
I
Doc,
could go with Cardi B.
right. I mean, if you would have delivered Cardi B, the internet would have blew up right now. It would
Lost
have been
it.
like, what? How does that even
Lost
happen?
it. But Dr. Oz, have you thought of this question before? Because you answered it so quickly. Do you sit there and think, what's the last song I want to hear?
No, I don't think about it a lot, but there's some songs when and that song I heard early in my life. I was in middle school or elementary school when it came out. And so I remember hearing it and thinking, that is so cool. And I grew up in this part of the country where Bruce Springsteen was just a god. He was still starting out. And I remember just for the first time moving the music. If anyone who just adores music, the first time it sort of gets into your soul and you realize its power, it's hard to forget that feeling.
Yeah.
So it's more the feeling than the song. I want to feel that way when I die.
Hey, I like that. I like it.
That was powerful. I told you he was an expert. This is my
Right,
guy.
right.
Now, Dr. Oz, you are what the kids would say. You're lit, Dr. Oz, because season 12 of the Dr. Oz show is now airing. It premiered Monday, September 14th. You got renewed for 2 more seasons on top of that. So what's the deal, man? Are you in front of a studio audience? Where are you recording from? Because I know you moved to New York.
So I've always been in New York because I practice medicine here. And early on, when Oprah, who's my partner, as you know, we had thought about taping the show in Chicago because she had a studio and she had room.
Right.
But I wanted to stay here in the city because I wanted to be able to practice medicine once a week, and I still do. I'm actually going to the hospital from this interview.
Well-
But the thing I realized, and I was in the ABC building. ABC sold their building. I mean, the whole building. My studio got sold. So I'm over here at CBS. But the only reason I bring that up is CBS guys are pretty solid. I said, listen, in order for us to open up, we need to be able to get air quality that's similar to an operating room.
Right.
So they change the air in my studio 7 times an hour.
Wow.
That's what they do for my OR, by the way. And it means that it's like being outside. And the most important thing for us to do, those of us who want to go back to work, besides wearing masks, is make sure you're in a building with good air. So the air needs to be filtered and changed frequently. Then it's sort of like being outside, which dramatically reduces the chance of virus popping around the room and catching you from behind.
I think we're in trouble. I don't even know we got
we're
AC
starting
in
to
here.
look up. So you're going to be in your studio, and you were at home quarantined with all of us. Now that you're going back, maybe what are some tips that you would give people who aren't back to work yet, who are stuck at home working from home?
Well, first off, oftentimes the reason you're not going to work is that you're not lobbying to go back to work. And I told my team, I don't want you to feel pressured to go back to work, but those of you who want to go back to work, I'm going to start making a set of rules based on CDC guidelines and a lot of wisdom that's already out there about how to do it safely. And so amongst those things, for example, is we don't want you coming in when you got a problem. So everyone's got to fill out a questionnaire every day. We don't ask you to volunteer it. We literally quiz you about symptoms you may not be aware of.
Right.
Secondly, you got, besides your temperature, we ask people to get checked periodically to spit into a cup, simple to do, just to make sure we don't have an asymptomatic spread in the office. I don't want everyone getting sick at once. Once you do that, then actually people start to feel pretty safe. And they say, I want to get back to work. Our brains are designed to be around each other. Right? We are hardwired to look in each other's eyes and read our emotions. Where the reason radio is so powerful in music, like we started off with, is because our ears can process sound so sophisticatedly. To go hunting, we need a brain the size of a walnut. You don't need a lot. So our brains are there to connect with each other. So you want to be back in society. And I got to tell you, we've been back to work for 3 weeks here. The first week was a little awkward. People didn't quite know how to deal with each other, sort of weird. Second week's better. Now it feels pretty good. And I think as long as you're doing it at a pace that people are comfortable with and they trust the process, they come along.
Dr. Oz, I know you're not a fortune teller, but damn it, when you see a doctor, you go and you ask him all these questions you have in your mind. So the first question off the top is, where are we in this country as far as like the battle with COVID-19? Are we near the end?
Is it almost over?
Yes. Do you see the finish line?
It's like playing a football game. The fourth quarter is almost the end, but it's a very important quarter. So we're going to get more virus in the fall. There was new data today that if you have the flu, it actually makes you susceptible to COVID-19. However, wait for it. The good news is the vaccine trials, the first one of the 30,000 people trials, it's finishing this week. So give people, 6 weeks to analyze the data and make sure there's no side effects and see if there's benefit. By early November, we're going to know if we got a vaccine that works. If not, we got 6 more coming behind that one. So I think by early 2021, we're going to be giving people vaccines. And the government today announced free vaccines for everybody.
Yeah.
There will be no charge for vaccines. The military is going to be distributing them. High people first, doctors and high-risk people in nursing homes, they get it first. And then after that, the rest of us get in line. Well, I get it, but everyone else gets in line.
Yeah.
That's the way that it should work.
But you see all these conspiracy theorists that like, hey, do I really want to be the first one to receive the vaccine? Like, do you really want to be the first one? What do you say to those people that are hesitant about, getting the vaccine initially when it becomes available?
Don't go first. Let someone else go first. I mean, there's lots of people probably in front of you.
Yeah.
Don't go first. Wait. But what about all of the long-term effects? Like I like to read and see. Maybe you won't go first. You'll wait 2-3 weeks. But what about in 3 years or 4 years? Or do you have any kind of reservations towards the vaccine, or you are all in for it? And do you recommend for everyone to be on the same boat?
Well, I'm personally very comfortable with the vaccine. I am going to get it, and I will be one of the first to get it.
Okay.
I don't want people to feel like they're dumb or they're conspiracy theorists if they had reservations. I get it. Listen, you give 100 million people a shot, you're going to have some side effects.
Yeah.
That's normal. That's okay. The question is, are the side effects less than the benefits of the vaccine? And I think in this case, they will be, or we will not release it. So we can't tell yet because we don't have any data, but the 9 manufacturers said we're not going to risk our reputations and our companies releasing a bad vaccine. So we're going to make sure this works before we even submit for approval. I trust that process. And the reason I say what I said earlier about don't go first is we don't have enough.
Oh.
So let the people who need to get it first. If you're worried, it's okay. Wait a couple of weeks. Just keep being smart, delay for a while. But to your point, after a month, you're going to see most of the side effects. Yes, you might have a side effect a year from now. I don't know what it looks like. It's not what we talk about. I don't even know what those are, but it's possible. But I think the vast majority of the problems are going to happen relatively early. So once we've given first 30,000, now 100,000, and then 3 million or 10 million or whatever it is people the vaccine, you should feel pretty comfortable if we don't see a lot of complications.
Yeah, we'll just watch you, Dr. Oz. If you mutate or you gain a superpower, then we'll just, then we'll go from there.
Dr. Oz.
So, Doctor, we're still taking steps. I know in my household, when, we come back from the grocery store, we wipe down our groceries, we take our shoes off. All these steps, are they really necessary? Are they really making an impact? Or am I just wasting my time?
Well, every little bit helps, but those aren't the big ways you help. I mean, cleaning off the packaging, the virus could live there for a day, maybe max. If you're really worried about it, I just leave it out, if I can for a day, and all the virus will be dead anyway. Taking the shoes off is smart. I do that as well.
Okay.
If you're in an area that's pretty crowded, I wouldn't wear my clothes around the house. Those are good habits, period. But the big things to focus on are the issues that you sort of already know about. Don't be around a lot of people you don't know without a mask. And that's a super spreader moment, especially if it's indoors. If you cut those out of American society, we're going to dramatically change how this virus behaves. It'll look more like the flu, and we can deal with the flu.
Now, I believe that eating better can definitely help you, especially with the spread of the coronavirus. Now, I might be ignorant on my behalf, but what do you think another step, obviously, like Teddy said, instead of being wiping things down or going to the grocery store, taking your shoes off and stuff like that? What about food? Do you feel like eating better or having certain smoothies or juices might boost your immune system and help you? Would you give anybody any kind of tips like that? Like, hey, drink this every morning, or have this, have more of this? Because I don't feel like we're talking about that enough.
You're right, we're not, and we should. And we know that healthy diets dramatically improve your immune system. So does sleeping, by the way. The other big thing you should be doing. But I tell you, here's my recipe. Zinc, very important every day. You can eat 15 milligrams if you want. Vitamin D is shown to reduce the chance of getting a viral infection, also linked to COVID-19 protection, as is zinc. Vitamin C shortens the duration of illness. Take that. And then just the basic multivitamin. And if you need to get that in real food or take a supplement, if you're not, that's the way to go. Anyway, my friends, I got to bop. God bless you for all you do. I'm putting on Springsteen right now as I speak to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Oz, for all your time. You be safe. Tell Cardi B we said what's up, okay?
What's up? Bye-bye.
Later.
When this fucking beat drop, you already know what fucking time it is.
Now, check it out, y'all.